What's popular, YouTube?
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 Another day, another demo.
Another day, another demo.
Another day, another
demo.
Another day, another demo.
What's popular, YouTube? Another day, another demo, and another year where the list ends with the top 20 of 2022, and HLTV's list begins like tomorrow. A culmination of an incredible year of Counter-Strike, amazing moments, and players who have given their lives, and when I say lives, I mean 100% of their time to this craft and the mastery of becoming the best and staying the best in Counter-Strike. And now remains one single player at the tip of the spear, the pinnacle, the epitome of CS, the whetstone of the entire scene, the measuring stick for everybody who wants to figure out how good you can get, the prime example of longevity, the guy who has done so much and we have no idea how much more he will want to do. Because whether it comes to the stats argument, which isn't something that I brought up throughout these top 20 players, I've looked at the stats, but I haven't burdened you with the stats. I've just talked about my personal experience watching these players. He still got that in the bag. He's a player who has gone through unprecedented levels of, real life problems in this year and still has managed to be the very best, and at very worst, top three, in some sense. If you want to argue for somebody else or another, in my opinion, it's still very clear that this player is still the best in the world and straight up the best of all time. I've got Simple at number one. Simple this year has accomplished what he accomplished in 2021. It's because he ended the year not quite as strong as he did with the Stockholm victory in 2021, the most dominant major run of all time. He isn't the surefire shoe-in, I guess, for the top one spot. I think it would be unlikely that Zaiwu Oshiro beats him out because even like when you look at all the stats over the course of the year, you have top two at Cologne. You have a unbelievable few events from him. They have the Lisbon win with Electronic coming in as the IGL. Simple was still there through thick and thin, and he actually did have a couple of bad games, believe it or not. There was the Furia match. Honestly, the Cologne final, he had one great game, a couple of not so good maps. He came in second at Antwerp, where they could have obviously won that, but the famous Canada, or no, that wasn't the Canada call. That was at Cologne, another final with him in it. Antwerp was another opportunity. Na'Vi were close, and this was more of a classic Na'Vi year in the sense that they were one of the best teams by far. Oh, I forgot to do this because I'm a paid actor. I've got the Na'Vi jersey. It's got my name on the back. I don't know how they got my address, but they sent me this. I actually have no idea how they even have my address. But anyways, they sent me this jersey. Na'Vi are, maybe it's because on Twitter I said that they're the GOAT org, which I definitely believe that Na'Vi are the greatest organization. If there was an award for that in Counter-Strike in terms of how consistently they've been at the top over the years since the beginning of the game. I think the one org that has been in every major, the org that has harbored the best player for the last, on average, the best player for the last 4 years. And Simple, with this year, if he gets top one, will be the first player in history to have 3 top ones and 2 top twos. And just 3 top ones is a record in and of itself in history. It's amazing. Talking to players and discussing somebody like Simple and trying to figure out how he is as good as he is, it's something that truly he's the only one that can figure that out, right? Because lots of players probably have a work ethic that's comparable. They probably can hit flicks that are comparable. They probably have the understanding of rotations that's comparable. They probably have the movement that's comparable, some even better. They probably have utility knowledge and utility timing and placement and lineups. That's comparable. But nobody has them all at the same time in the same way that Simple does. And not as consistently and nowhere as consistently. And that's where the magic is when it comes to this list and who's at the top. And who's on this list at all. All top 20 players have to be proud. It's incredible to be able to be a top 20 player in a game where everybody is day and night eating, sleeping, and dreaming about this game, and trying to be the best and getting paid very handsomely to work towards that goal, or making nothing at all and playing purely for pride, but still trying just as hard. So we're here to watch Simple here play in a match at Lisbon, or sorry, the spring final, which is Lisbon. It was a 16-1 over FaZe, so that's a little bit sweet revenge here for Na'Vi. And Simple is one of his best maps of the year. He went 46 and 21 across the 2 maps, a 1.80 rating, but absolutely pieced up FaZe Clan with a 28 and 10, 2.29 rating on Inferno. We will watch both halves because it's only 17 rounds. So why don't we go ahead and jump into the game and talk about how good Simple is this year and what they have to be proud of and why Simple is the best. And I think Inferno is a great map to talk about what separates him from everybody else. So of course, when we talk about all the basic stuff, when we talk about aim, we talk about movement, we talk about nades, all these different things. He's obviously elite. He gets where he needs to be as fast as possible. He throws his nades down in optimal spots. He keeps up on all of the stats when it comes to nades, whether it's flash assists or otherwise. And he also hits a very consistent amount of ridiculous shots, like just straight up, right? Which is the other part about Counter-Strike, which is important to point out, but is the last thing you want to discuss when it comes to who your favorite players are. You kind of want your favorite player to be who has the best decision making. Well, Simple's got that too. I think, personally, he stands out the most over everybody else. After all of my years watching CS and analyzing and talking about different players, he stands out the most because of his rotations. So I think, or not I think, I will argue positioning is the most important part about Counter-Strike. But it's kind of a loaded statement to say so. Because to say positioning is the most important part of Counter-Strike, it's like, yeah, that's obvious if you're standing behind everybody you shoot in the head, right? Then obviously positioning is the most important. But I think it's as simple as that, right? If you think about the value of positioning and what it can net you if you have very good positioning, then you can figure out, you can see very clearly that that's more important than aim, utility usage, communication, all the other things that are also important to have at the same time. If you want to talk about one thing that's the most important thing, I think that's positioning. And we talk about what epitomizes positioning when we talk about criteria for discussing pro players. Rotations is just that. Getting into the spot to be effective. It was the theme of the Degster. It was the theme of the Degster demo review. Was talking about playing within smokes, committing to rotations, playing the deep angle, getting into a spot where you get the easy kill, but if you miss, then you're dead and you lose the round. Well, Simple is the GOAT of that. Absolutely. He's the GOAT of pretty much everything, but I think that's the thing that, for me, is the reason we talk about Simple and not somebody else. He is still the guy for me who, let's say on CT sides, whether it's Nuke or Inferno or Overpass, rotates the most, plays the most amount of positions in one half, plays them all to an elite level, gets into spots to have impact, and hits all of those shots as consistently as he needs to. Okay. Didn't even see that spray transfer. Oh, he said, hey, Perfecto, take care of this guy for me. I just put a toe tag on him. You unzip the body bag. So, and Nuke is the map I talk about a lot. Inferno is also, when we talked about, let me reference my own videos, the Bit demo from, I think, the beginning of 2021. It was something like March of 2021, something like that, with Bit. And he's first game on the team, and he's playing on Inferno. And I talked about how much Simple rotates and makes Bit's life hell. Because he forces Bit to also be good at multiple spots, because Simple will freely rotate across a map and play multiple positions in a half and also in a round. And that's what makes it hard to play with Simple. But if you do play well around Simple, like Na'Vi did in 2021, and for most of 2022 as well, he doesn't have as bad of a team as ZywOo does, I would just like to say. Yeah, for me, he has Bit in the top 20. He has Perfecto as the best support of the year. He has Electronic, who is a top fragger IGL at Lisbon, way better than Apex will ever be in the future years, even if this is Electronic's worst year. Simple has a better team than ZywOo does, by far. By far. Okay, just like to say that. But Simple team's not perfect. Okay, so Simple. First of all, I shut down this lurker right here. This is the big kill. So when you kill Rain, you know at this point in the round it's a B split. You just know. They have this locked up, so this is free. And then the flash assist, of course. And then the headshot from Simple. Oh my god, pure impact already. This is what I'm talking about. And the thing is, he cheats all these timings because he runs. Like, he runs because he knows. You cannot hoodwink this guy. He just is aware of what you're going to do. Sometimes he's aware before you know it. I almost made a demo. I almost made a huge video. Wait, did I upload it? It was on Simple at Kato and how he was breaking timings at Kato in 2021. Or 2020. 2021. It was 2020, actually. I never uploaded that, did I? I wrote a fucking script for this. We never actually got that done. It was all about Simple rotations and breaking timings and how he did that at Kato in 2020 and Unreal. I must have talked about that, right? In the top 20 back then? I don't know. I need a historian for myself, the amount of videos we do in this point. Wow! Simple, can he stop? And the thing is, when he peaks, it's not like everybody else's peak, it's the highest. It's fucking, it's not K2, it's Everest. Elite in everything is what you have to remember. Not just for Simple, but all these players. Zaiwu, Shiro, Nico, Axel less so this year, you know, specifically, but like Nico, people we know can do it multiple years in a row. Brokey was top 20. I think he was 20th in 2021. Now he'll be top 5 in 2022. Maybe better. Simple. Too easy for him. Things are only getting worse here for FaZe. Doesn't even want to swing into this? Wow, yeah, he does. Oh, and he knew Rops was in there as well. Rops terrified for his life. Clutching his pearls inside a boiler. So this demo is a little older, right? But this smoke was pretty new at the time. The molly he throws is to stop the jump up into the back of halls. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's an early attack here. 120. Fresh smoke on halls. And Simple already used his smoke in mid, so playing big pit is a risk, but he has SDY up on the halls. And I think because it's an anti-eco as well, they're fine. And look at the rotation now from the 4th player from Na'Vi coming over this side. Let's see how they deal with this. Oh, he ate the flash, but SDY is keeping him up. Easy stuff. Only headshots so far. A huge amount of versatility out of Simple when it comes to the variety of guns he used. He's very good with the AKs. He's very good with the M4s. He had multiple clips, even at the World Final with the different guns he had, which obviously I didn't count, but I'm just saying. It wasn't a good end to the year for Na'Vi, so it wouldn't really matter anyways. But he... Yeah. You know, without Simple in the list, like, I would have to think more about Zaiwu versus Shiro, I guess. Is that true? Maybe not. I don't know. Zaiwu has great arguments. No team this year. Anyways, that's probably not true. I think that would undermine the list in the first place if that was the case. That doesn't make sense. Also, I don't think that's even true just from straight comparing them. I didn't really concern myself with stats up until top 3. And then I looked very deeply at every stat, honestly, because you guys know how I feel about these guys. Just nothing but massive respect for each of these players. Just genuinely, that's how I feel. Oh, he's coming. Oh, I thought he was coming through that. Look at all the flash assists Simple has got this game. All the blind frags that he's gotten as well. Blind frags are worth 2. Everyone knows that. Wow. That was a movie moment right there. Well, you can't say they didn't try to flash him. They've been doing an excellent job of attempting it. So he throws that flash just to duplicate his presence here, and they actually route back into CT. I think he heard one inside of halls, but behind a smoke, so Simple will take another peek on lane, and now just get over to the pit. Bit gets the last 2, and Simple has been dominating this whole half. Unreal. This is really peak performance. There's no luck involved. Lots of hard shots being hit. Lots of good flashes. Lots of great rotations. Lots of variety and positioning. It's hitting every metric. Another good spawn. And at this point, yeah, well, he already thinks he's won the game, I'm pretty sure. 10-1. He's playing the best CS of his life. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, that's a good call out. Nobody can really do that right now because there's nothing else for the T's to do except spam that smoke. So people are throwing the deep smoke these days, but they're not really going deep to throw nades or anything. They're just throwing it and just trying to elicit a reaction to delay longer. It's just a better smoke to use than the shallow one on mid because there's more options you could pretend you have, especially if there's some kind of group up and hit a site type of strategy. Just punishes bad teams basically. They might not know Simple's here. Again, fast rotations, lots of unpredictable spots. Let's see if they go for the re-aggro. It's kind of in a hard spot to re-aggro. They could be boosted over the half wall waiting. If Simple doesn't think they are, we'll see. Peeks it, but honestly, if he thought they were really up there, I don't think... Like, he would just be dead, so there's no point in him worrying about it. Here, he might have to hit a flick up if they do jump spot. Is also, right now, not thinking about that again. It's kind of like, if you're going to take this risk, then why would you bother assuming that that fight is coming? Well, SDY handles all this by himself. SDY to Great Lisbon, of course. We have yet to find out if he'll still be on the team in the future. I personally think Nipple is nowhere near as good as SDY is, but hey, that's just me. I honestly, after even casting the Academy League, I'm not exactly sure what they see in Nipple compared to Head Trick or SDY. I thought he was just good. Even when the stats showed he was good, I just thought he was just good, but like... I don't see how, you know, in any sense he would just be like more stand. A Head Trick I can understand. I would understand trying to sharpen him in his case, but we'll see. Navi are pretty good at finding talent and using Navi Jr., so we'll see. Again, rotating back from B to A in this way is so atypical. And also, I want to point out, like, you know, when we talk about OC and we talk about taking advantage of rotation and stuff, you just don't see OC doing stuff like this. Like, even this re-aggro on mid, just like that flagrantly. Like, OC just doesn't do that kind of thing for some reason, where he absolutely should. So, Simple is kind of like if you combined OC and Dexter, you know? He's got all the nades, all the really, really good calculated stuff, plus hits the hard shots, and also just brave enough, just like Dexter is. But Dexter is just Dexter. He's top 20. He's been great. Okay, that's just free. Oh my god, it's just non-stop. Well, there's his highlight round right there. Rob's out of the round. Had to be a no-scope or he was dead. So he didn't do it for the style. And surely now there's no ace, right? Surely they don't go into Arch. No. But he did get some damage off. Listen, this is versus... Listen, this is versus FaZe, who are the biggest rival of the year of Na'Vi, who stole Antwerp away from them, who beat them at Cologne for 2 of their big wins this year. This is not a small match to be able to do this, and they win the spring final off of this as well. So this really speaks to Simple and his motivation and his individual level in this game, how good he was playing. So Twist, let's see how he reads it. If he thinks he's going to go up top, he might hold in the pre-aim up top. It's what I'm thinking could happen. Oh no, he hears a drop off. And that one's for free. It's Simple. What can he do here? Connecting the smoke to these 2 pillars is huge. Oh, and he actually opens himself up on that side as well. Wow, that's quite a play. That's quite a play from Simple. He keeps the smoke a little bit wider. But yes, we're going to watch the last 2 rounds. This could have been a 16-0. You know how Simple feels about this fight. He loves this fight. The window flash, that's that one. You guys know how I feel about the window flash. Okay. Easy for Simple. Oh, that was such a good flash dodge. And also gets the kill. Brokey half blind as well. Wow, that was beautiful. I feel like the commentator who's talking about, you know, Messi, he goes like, what is it? Ankara Messi. Go. You know what I mean? Just saying his name over and over again. I just hope I didn't butcher that. I mean, I did, but I don't really watch soccer, but I was watching a bunch of highlights after the game because we were in Abu Dhabi watching the World Final. It was pretty exciting, and you know, I have respect for greatness. I love the idea of watching these players and celebrating them and everything. So, loving Counter-Strike wouldn't change no matter what sport I watched. I just don't follow soccer. I'll say football once out of respect, one time. That's all you get out of me. Not a sport, but whatever. It was pretty cool. Oh. Okay, that's it. He even waited for it. All right, there it is. Symbol, the top one player of 2022 on my list. We'll see if he's the top one on HLTV's. So excited to watch HLTV list. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It is a lot of work. Please, thank yous and hearts for Mo and Davey who did the editing and the thumbnails respectively. Lot went into this. Really enjoy doing this despite how much work it is, and looking forward to doing next year's already. Excited for it. This is my favorite one so far. I do have a couple of players who I would like to give shout outs to that were just on the outside of the list, and I guess I'm not going to do a separate video, so I should just do them here since you stuck around. Honorable mentions for me just in general were in 2022 Flit randomly, Rain, who I didn't put in the top 20, who honestly, thinking about, like, obviously major MVP run and everything like that, just inconsistent, but honestly, in retrospect, there had to be a way to find him in here, and I just as the other MVP, major MVP of 2022, even though I didn't want to make it about the specific results. Also, he's just so underrated in my opinion in terms of his stats, so kind of feel that one was a mistake by me. That one was a mistake. I just don't know who exactly I would snub and replace, but Cadian, Perfecto, Hobbit, and Flit are four players who were just on the outside. In some senses, you know, like Perfecto doesn't have a stats argument, Cadian doesn't have a stats argument, but in terms of their impact as IGLs, as players, when you talk about James getting better stats, but Cadian just doing so much, even on an individual level, he really did. Perfecto, even on an individual level, he really did. Whether it came to winning nuke maps, Mirage maps, clearly being a great support player. Yuri's another one that I was thinking about. All these players were up there. Hopefully we can display the top 20 in its entirety. But yeah, that's it. We're done. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next year in 2023. Stick to your resolutions. What's yours? Mine is 1920 by 1080. I'm just kidding. I don't do that because I hate New Year's resolutions, because I hate going to the gym and seeing a full gym, and then by the end of January it's empty again. So anyways, happy holidays, health, wealth, and great relationships to everybody who watches the channel, all of your families, and I hope you have a great time watching CS. I hope you can make it better, and I hope we have many more years of this fantastic game to watch and more top 20 lists to celebrate the best players and the best moments of those years. Thanks for watching.